Vogue Business just released this amazing new article. The research was done by youth culture.
This is a very interesting article. Now, I'm not saying I disagree. I do have some questions about this research that I think it would have been nice if they answered in their article. Beyond nice, they should have answered these questions in their article. ArcRival is the company that did the research. Are they a research institution? No. Do you have to be a research institution to do research? No, absolutely not. But important context, ArcRival is a youth culture agency. So if they did research, I'm like, cool, who are the researchers on staff that did the research? I can't find any. So now I'm like, who did the research? Is it research? Like, did they follow best practices? Did they come up with research questions and a research design and go through the whole thing? Like, is it actual research? Or is it like we sent out a survey? Not the same thing. So I'm digging into the article. Like, I want to learn more about where these stats on Gen Z and millennials came from. They came from a qualitative and quantitative research study, and ArcRival surveyed a nationally representative, keep that word in mind, phrase in mind for later, of 750 Gen Zs and 250 millennials. And they conducted qualitative focus groups with dozens of Gen Zs. Right off the bat, I'm thinking, wow, that's a lot more Gen Zs than millennials. The article's mostly about Gen Zs, but just like interesting, 750 versus 250. Then I'm like caught up on the word dozens, right? Like dozens could be 24. That's 2 dozen, that's dozens. It could be 36. It could be like in the hundreds. How many people were in your focus groups? Just like be specific and tell us. Be transparent and tell us. But the most important thing here is this nationally representative sample. People love to like trot out nationally representative. The idea behind a nationally representative sample is that the people you've surveyed or the people you talk to share enough in common with like the broader population, in this case, share enough in common with all Gen Zs and all millennials in the US that you can only talk to a couple hundred of them, and it's basically what you find with that couple of hundred would like transfer, be the same as what you'd find in the whole population. Here's the catch, and it's a big one. People define nationally representative sample differently. So you would have sampling criteria. Like, what are the characteristics that you care about in your nationally representative sample? You might care about age. You might care about race or ethnicity. You might care about gender. You might care about income level, primary language spoken at home. Like you could pick a lot of different features to include in a nationally representative sample. And then whatever features you pick, like those are the features that define nationally representative. You have to pick some though. So to just say nationally representative isn't really that helpful because it's like nationally representative in what ways? And I think in what ways makes a huge difference in how you would interpret these findings. Was it a random sample? You know, names in a hat, pulling out random names to see who takes the survey? Or was it like they sent the survey to only people they know, and then they used the responses from people who shared criteria with how they were defining nationally representative? The point being, like, we just have no idea. There's no insight given to us on this. What was the process for analyzing the survey data? What was the process for ensuring that it was checking that it was representative? What was the process for your qualitative research? How did you code the focus groups? How many people coded the focus groups? How did themes arise? If this were an academic publication, which it's not, they would have to share all of these things about their research study. And people will say, because people jump in my comments and say this all the time, like, but it's not academic, so like people don't have to share all that. I'm saying if Vogue Business wants to put out an article that's saying like there's been this massive shift in marketing according to research, it'd be pretty dang helpful if they gave us a little more insight into this research, who conducted it, and how it was conducted. I did some digging for it. I can find out no more than what is right here. So at the very least, if the information is out there, it's not easily accessible. And anyone reading that article should know, has the right to know, how the data was collected, how the study was designed, who did the study, because that is all critically important information for interpreting these findings. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.